Today on To All the Crowded Rooms, make sure to hit that notification bell, smack that as hard as you can. Today we're doing a special episode.
Whoa.
Whoa, that's right.
Ski.
I'm really excited about this one tonight, guys. So, unfortunately, Mikey was he got caught fighting a bear, and now he's unable to make it to the show. So, the producer, the man himself, the greatest of the hour, has shown, himself to the table, and I'm happy to be sharing it today with Mr. James. What's up, man?
Sup, Jose?
You know what I'm even more excited for? I'm more excited for the man right across from us, Mr. Raw.Deen. Hello, man. What's it like?
Hello.
If you guys don't know, Mr. Raw.Deen himself is a genre-bending hip-hop artist who I actually just discovered thanks to everyone on the podcast, thanks to James and Mikey. We had a great conversation the other day, and I'm excited to kind of dive into this right now.
Absolutely.
Yo, I'm going to go hard as fuck right now. First question. We went through it on Third Time's a Charm. Do you collect toy cars? And you said no, basically.
I've said no, yeah.
All right, so I actually found your music from toy cars. I have an eBay account, and I got an Instagram for it, and I sell toy cars for my dad, like old vintage cars and shit.
Right.
And just flipping through the likes and whatever's, like, it's liked by Raw.Deen, and I saw the picture. I click on it, and I'm like, oh shit, this guy's a rapper. And I looked into it, and I'm like, this is pretty cool. And then I'm like, oh shit, he's a Philly rapper.
Right.
And then there's another one that was like liked by Raw.Deen. So it's just multiple Instagram posts of toy cars or model cars liked by Raw.Deen, and that's how I found your music, and that's why you're here today.
Where's your dad live?
In Baltimore.
In Baltimore. Does he geotag himself?
No.
Like, does he put Baltimore?
No, I run the Instagram. He just gives me the cars and I sell them.
No, but like the thing that I liked, like, was it hashtags on it?
Probably.
Yeah, that probably was what it was. I fucking like Quaz, shouts out Quaz. He had like put me onto this shit called like Everliker like a couple years ago, and it was basically this service like before like Instagram like start getting washed for like shit like that. But it basically would just like people's shit based on the criteria that you put on it. So it's just like I would have my shit to like Philly people, so Philly, it would be liking their pictures, and it would be like engaging with them, so then they would go to see who I am type shit. And now they have like higher level services. That's why every now and then when you put a question sticker up, is some random motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, that are asking something that has absolutely nothing to do with the question that you just asked. And yeah, that's why.
Yeah, maybe that's why Seal keeps looking at our stories on Instagram. Have you seen this?
I didn't know Seal was looking at us.
The Seal.
Seal.
Like, he's just looking at our Instagram stories, and Mikey keeps screen capping it. It's not the real him. It's like probably this bot service or whatever. So what you were saying is basically like a bot thing, right? So it just kind of does that for you to kind of, I guess, get your name out there?
Yeah, I guess so. And like there are a lot of different types of bots. Like there are people that have been like caught in the industry that basically a lot of people were going on their Spotify accounts, and then they were seeing a listening history of shit they didn't listen to. So there are people that's literally hacking accounts, like getting number ones from this, like because they're hacking your Spotify account, like while you're not on it, and then just having it play some shit. Like, I don't know how the fuck they do it, but they're slotting it in the listens, and people are going platinum in like 2 months off of songs that people aren't really like fucking with, like it says they're fucking with via RIAA.
That reminds me of like how like the whole thing with 6ix9ine buying like all the ads on YouTube. So instead of it being a commercial, he's buying an ad space for it's just his music video, which I've seen a lot of rappers nowadays just do that. They just buy ad space, and it shows the first like 20 seconds of your music video, and then people eventually skip it or whatever, but that counts as a view because it's more than like 3 seconds.
Right.
So then you'll see these rappers that have like 3 million views, but it's like all just because they bought ads. And it's not people actually listening to the song. It's actually people just watching the ads are like, the fuck is this shit? And then they skip it and go on to their fucking book reading documentary or whatever the fuck they're watching.
This whole movie's like that. Like I've gone to sleep and woke up to like a 70-minute ad playing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you just don't hit skip now, like some of them will just run. And that's crazy. Like I wonder if they're getting revenue from that. You know what I'm saying?
I think it looks like big numbers. So people are going to see like this video and oh, who's this guy that has 3 million views and it's been out for a month? Like this guy must be the next poppin' rapper. That's what I think they do it for, but I'm not sure. It's just something I've been seeing recently with like rappers and marketing.
Right.
Jose?
I didn't even know that was a thing. You guys have just taught me so much today.
It's bugging out, bro.
Yo, wow. I guess I really shouldn't be that surprised when you think about it now. Everyone's getting their music out every single way right now, and especially when you look at things like TikTok, like that alone also helps plays go up so much.
Right.
Like it's crazy. Like you could instantly just like have like. You can be a no-name artist, but if like your song gets picked up by some random TikToker who has like 100K followers, you know what I mean? That might just bump your numbers up to a few 20, 30, 50, who knows how much.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that really always kind of got me like blown away by this. So like knowing that that's a thing, dude, makes me go, what the fuck?
Yeah, bro. TikTok is like an emerging market. I've heard the next thing that they're trying to do with that is like figure out how you can monetize the views that you're getting. And TikTok's their algorithm is a lot more friendlier than like Instagram, Twitter, and shit like that, because you'll have somebody who has like 3 followers and they'll make a video and out of nowhere it'll just get 15,000 views or some shit like that, because it's something on there called like a For You page, and I don't know how they're gathering the data on the shit that you actually like, but they're building your experience around what you like, whereas someone like Instagram is just trying to plug whoever is already popular so they could just push whatever the fuck they're doing.
Or on Facebook, they're just going to give you everything that you don't like. It's just going to fucking trigger
Or whoever
you.
pays the most money.
Yeah.
To
or what
like
they heard you talking about.
Yeah. Oh, that's true, too, because as soon as we did the interview last week with Nishan, all the rappers he talked about on like our podcast episode started popping up on my YouTube.
That's weird.
And I was just like, are you fucking serious? Like now for some reason I'm getting like TJ Porter and all these like rappers that he's talking about that are all on the come up. Like that's showing up in my related shit. Like my computer heard that shit and it's just throwing it at me.
Bro, you want to know a reality that's almost scarier? Because I was looking into like what their reasoning is behind like that happening. And they said that for like, I think 2/3 of like everyone who's on the internet, for the most part, like with your cookies and everything like that, they're generating an AI of you, and you like have this footprint, you have this identity on the internet where they've seen all of the shit you've been searching for the last 7 years, so they're giving you predictive advertisement based on shit that you look up and what they see your thought patterns to be. So it's almost like foresight. You know what I'm saying? Like, which is like almost a little more bugging than like them spying. Because it's just like, I'd rather them spy and here I really said it, other than they really have a computer software that knows how I think.
They're just going to know what you're going to do.
Yeah, that's bugging, bro. That's super bugging.
Yeah, it's just exploiting you, you know what I mean? It knows what you're going to fall into and what you're going to spend money on and what you're trying to stay away from. And that's the shit that kind of sucks sometimes, too.
Based on your habits.
Shit, dude. Fuck, I don't even like how we're talking about all of this right now. This is a very bleak realization.
They're gonna come after us.
Yeah, they're gonna come after us. Fucking So I was wondering, how did you get on Fuck 'em?
Just paid their ass, bro.
Nice.
Anyone who's trying to mysticize that, like, you know what I'm saying?
Because that's what I've heard a lot with a lot of things in hip hop. Like, it's just like a very common thing to just any kind of exposure, whether it's performing a show, getting your song on a playlist, or just any kind of like marketing, you have to pay for all of it, and it's a lot more normal.
Pay to play.
What?
It's damn near all pay to play.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like one thing that we were talking about before is like the weird like how our scenes are like polar opposite. So when you look at like the hip hop world, everyone already knows it's all about money. Like you just got to be able to pay your way to do the things you got to do to get your exposure. But over with like pop punk or emo music, or whatever the fuck we want to call it, people really look down on anybody who's trying to bring any kind of like money games into it. You know what I mean? Like if you're trying to count how many people you brought, if you're trying to, let's say I'm a promoter.
Yeah.
If I start counting who brought how many people, it's not uncommon for people to give that promoter shit.
Right.
Because they're like, why are you counting the door? It's because I'm trying to pay people properly. And if I don't pay people properly, you're going to say that I don't pay anybody.
Exactly.
You know, and everyone...
No good deed goes unpunished.
Yeah, and I think it's really weird because I think the reason why a lot of like rap music, hip-hop in general is like one of the most popular genres now. It is the most popular genre within our time is because it's more transparent that you have to work hard and make money to make your shit come true, while people within like the rock world or I'm just gonna call it like pop punk emo, whatever. They kind of just want to pretend like that's not what it is, and they want to tell you like, no, like you can't do this. It's about community. It's about X, Y, and Z. But in reality, they just don't want to work as hard because when you bring in the logistics, is like, well, I'm trying to figure out how many people you brought so I can pay you. They don't want to be told, oh, well, you only brought 2 people. Yeah. But then they want to get paid $100 for bringing those 2 people.
Yeah, when the tickets were only 10 each.
Yeah, exactly. So you want me to take money? Yeah, no, that's like kind of like, I just think it's crazy, and like it really kind of makes me wonder, and I kind of like to bring it up again. Like I don't really think that there's going to be anybody within that genre of music who's going to probably hit like mainstream popularity anytime soon again, just because like they're not willing to push the envelope and they don't want to do anything to really try expressing themselves. It's too cookie cutter. It's very engulfed by like the cancel culture. You know what I mean? So like you do something fucked up, me and James talk about this all the time, where it's like if you're making rock music and you do something fucked up, they can cancel you like that. But if you're doing hip hop, if you murder somebody, you can get glorified for it.
Yeah, that's a stimulus package.
Oh yeah, you go to jail, you murder a couple people, you're the next poppin' rapper. Like I don't understand why cancel culture is so crazy with certain genres of music.
Yeah, the baby killing that nigga in Walmart was like something that. Like it, I'm not gonna say, you know what I'm saying, the baby, because the baby was going from city to city, putting his face everywhere. Like
it helped.
Baby Jesus.
It definitely helped.
He had a crazy loyal like team that like just helped with that shit. But that like publicity thing, like that really boomed it. That the first time I ever saw the baby, it was that John where he was in, I think it was Atlanta.
The music video shoot?
The music video
That's
shoot.
The first
and
thing
the
I
niggas
saw.
came up trying to check him, and he like stood his ground. Like,
he's like,
yo.
G shit. He's like, I ain't no Pee-wee, man. You don't have to fucking talk to me like that.
Right, exactly.
That shit was crazy. I didn't even know who the fuck he was. It was like the baby or baby Jesus rapper, like confronts hater, blah, blah, blah. Right. And I was like, I watched it. I'm like, all right, cool, on to the next. And then like a year or 2 later, he's like the biggest fucking rapper.
Right. And I mean, that shit put it in front of people to the point where you start, because I feel like nowadays in like in music, back in the day, people used to fall in love with your music and then they would fall in love with your personality. And nowadays, people fall in love with your personality and then they fall in love with your music, to the point where like you'll have someone who just like is a cool person, and people are kind of just along for the ride. Like back in the day, if you listen to hip hop, you were listening to hip hop artists, and you stayed within the realm of hip hop artists. You know what I'm saying? But now it's just like, okay, I like this guy, so if he makes a rock song, then fuck it, I listen to a little bit of rock now. Or if he goes pop, then I like that because I just like him. Like that's the case with like, you look at people like Drake, who goes from like culture to culture with this shit. You know what I'm saying? You look at people like X, who went like genre to genre with this shit. And you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know. It's revolutionary. Like everything is just changing.
Yeah,
like, every
you
day.
have to be able to have a good grasp on multiple genres. Like if you're gonna make a good like, I don't know, pop song, you know what I mean, or like a Drake pop song, like you know, then he also has the capability of making like a great dance hall song. You know what I mean? And like I think that's just something a lot of people overlook. You have to be willing to dive into different markets and make sure that you can get your footprint in there, because if not, that's an entire demographic of people that you're not even trying to engage. Yeah, and that's really just limiting on your own end.
Yeah, and one thing about Drake that I feel like is like a common conversation is that like he's this culture vulture, and he's going from different people's culture and like taking it and then giving it to the world and profiting off of it. And to a degree, like that is kind of what's happening. But when Drake goes somewhere, like he like gives to like that community. That's why you look at the people who like he's around when he's like with a certain culture. Like when he was on his Jamaican shit, I don't know who the boy he was with. I don't know if it was Vibes Cartel or somebody like that, but it's some very prominent like Jamaican figure.
R.I.P. Vibes.
Yeah, R.I.P. Vibes. So yeah, maybe it wasn't him because I don't know when he passed or what that was about. Like it's a big Jamaican artist, but basically Drake be good in the hood, and he's not good in the hood because he's going to the hood stealing. Or else they would be like, we don't fuck with you and you're not coming back here. But all of these people, he truly does give them a platform. And yeah, he is profiting off of it, but they are like just as well. Like the Drake feature has gotten so many people on, and it's just like the only people that have fucked it up are the people who kind of fucked it up themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like you look at Migos. Drake, Versace, the Migos held they weight, they carried that shit, and look at them now. You look at The Weeknd on Take Care and shit like that. He carried his weight, and now he's just as big as Drake. And there's some people who they have their hit, and like, you know, no disrespect to them, like I Love McConan and stuff. Like he had
Flop hard as fuck.
kinda, and it's just like you had like on a Tuesday, and then I remember he had Swerve, and that was a good song, but like he didn't really like carry it. And you know, sometimes there's deeper shit in the industry with that. Certain times it's like something you did or somebody did to you or something you going through in your personal life, like OG Mako when he fucking had that flesh eating condition, bro. Like, how the fuck you gonna make music and like maintain a hip hop image when you dealing with some shit like that?
He like lost an eye and then got it back.
Yeah, and like people just would call him like a flop or something, but it's just like he had shit going on with his label, he had shit going on with like himself, and you know, and obviously I don't know the whole situation, but it's just like it's always deeper than, you know, it seems. I feel like it's bugging.
No, it definitely is a little bugging, and like it kind of like do you think like when you pay attention to things like this, that's like a reason why within the last few years you've only been releasing a handful of singles? Because like you said before on the segment earlier, that you're really just trying to make sure that you have, you know, a decent amount of content ready for when someone is willing to invest in you, or if there's a label that wants to take you on as a project.
Right.
So like, do you think like that's kind of like when you notice these kinds of things, that's the kind of what helps cater your decision on what you want to do with your own career?
Not necessarily. It plays a part for sure, because, you know, outside entities and having a machine can really help you get to the next level with certain stuff. But it's always just smart to pay attention to the times, because like there's rumors going around that Drake's about to go independent. And if Drake goes independent, then
Labels are fucked.
feel me. So it's just like that could change the game right there. But it's just like you look back when Lil Wayne was dropping mixtapes and shit like that, you were able to hit people with like different motherfucking songs like every other week, and they gonna listen to it. You know what I'm saying? But nowadays, people's attention span, I feel like, is a lot shorter. And now it's just like if you don't got them in the first 30 seconds, then like you don't got them. Whereas back in the day, Weezy drop a mixtape, you gonna listen to that shit. And if he drops another one 3 weeks later, you gonna listen to that shit. And it's just like nowadays, it's almost more beneficial to like have a mystique behind yourself. You look at people like The Weeknd, who didn't take interviews for years. You look how he was dropping music. You look at how Beyonce or Kendrick or any of these A-listers drop music. The only one that's really feeding like is Drake. And Drake really gives an album every 2 years, and like a single every 6 months. And that's frequent in the music industry. You know what I'm saying? He just dropped the song. That shit's probably going to be on smash for the next like 5 fucking months.
My question with it is like, since you have all this music like in like the backlog or whatever, you have all these songs, like don't you kind of, you know, you're afraid that like that sound is like dated by the time it gets...
Nah, because certain music is timeless. And when you have timeless music, like there's people that still listen to music from the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you like Korn. When's the last time Korn dropped a song?
Very recently.
Recently? Yeah. But do you still listen to their old shit?
I exclusively listen to a majority of their old shit, yeah.
And that's what I'm saying, because it's just like when someone has like a body of work that's like really impressive, and when it's really content, then it's just like that shit's always gonna last. You know what I'm saying? It's never gonna go away just because like, I don't know, it can't. Certain things are always relevant. You look at certain things. You look at Tupac's Brenda's Got a Baby. That's about like underage girls having pregnancies like when they can't really like hold that. You know what I'm saying? They can't really like support that. And that's something that's still rampant today. You look at To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick, what they were talking about, and we still going through that today. And I'm sure in 20 years we'll still be going through it, and All Right will still be a fucking anthem. You know what I'm saying? They still playing Fuck the Police by NWA. That's from like 30 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I feel like there is a lot of music that is just of the time, and it's just some like shit, and like I'm not saying that makes it any worse or less respect, because it takes an art to be able to read the room and know what people want to hear and give them that. Like Drake's very good at doing that, but even Drake, like I don't think Drake has like a classic album. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he has any classics on his hand, and that's very, I feel like, agreed upon, with Take Care being the best one. as far as the whole body of work. And I feel like that's because Drake's just so good at reading the room, and like you see it's giving them success. So you're not wrong for it, but like, you know, that comes with costs.
And that goes more for like the lyrical standpoint, not like sonically, because I feel like if you had some shit like on the back burner that was like it had this type of beat or this kind of sound, like how would that be relevant like 5 years from now?
Because they still haven't heard that sound.
Because they still haven't heard it, or like, yeah, I mean, I'm sure that it's not you riding any waves, but that's what I mean. Like, if you made a song that was like the wave at the time.
Sometimes I do. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I do. And a lot of times that's the music that I drop because I want to save all of my real content for people who really want to listen to it. And I'm not just going to put it out for some people who are just going to disregard it because it doesn't sound like a fucking trap anthem. If that's the case, I got trap anthems. You can hear that. But like otherwise, when they ready to sit down and listen, like everything's fine. That's a good album. I feel like that's a sturdy album, and I feel like if you put that album against any rap nigga album in Philly, it's washing it. You know what I'm saying? Marginally, with the exception of like A-listers and shit, like obviously Uzi, stuff like that. But like even like that, you know what I'm saying? Like that shit has a story through and through, and yeah, it's only 7 songs, but like I think cohesiveness is what makes it classic. You look at shit like Ready to Die. You look at shit like Kendrick's new record, Damn. You look at shit like J. Cole's 2014 Forest Hills Drive. You look at Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt and all of these fucking well agreed upon classics. And they all have a cohesive message that they're getting through. You had Jay-Z when he was on his B-boy shit on the block selling drugs. You had Jay-Z when he was getting money and now he at the label and he talking about how he rocking watches that only rich white motherfuckers wear. And then he talks about, okay, distancing myself from that. Now I want to have my own equity. Then he talks about being a father. And that's why Jay's still relevant to this day because he'll switch it up. He going to switch it up for you and you not going like, you feel me? You're not really going to get tired of it because he ages with you. Some people, they're there and they don't age with you. So you get too old for that shit. You feel me? Like, and that's why certain people just come and go because like, yeah, you got the 13-year-olds now, but then the 13-year-olds turn 18 and they realize that that shit is fucking lame and you still doing it.
Yeah, because you didn't grow as an artist, nor did you go ahead and tell a story about where you're progressing in life too.
Exactly.
And I think that speaks in volumes because like I didn't even realize that, but like it really is like the pieces of work that are like concept albums or just like something that does tell a story, not just about the artist, but something that just holds your attention and makes you want to listen to the next song. That really does kind of just leave an imprint in a lot of people's minds. Because I know for me, I guess like the best way I could put it is if it's something that shows me like your arc, you know what I mean? That's like, hey, like when I don't know, I guess like for example, like my favorite band's Korn, but like when you listen to Korn from like the first album, it's just very like gritty, early, kind of like it's kind of just it's gritty. I mean, it's like very like raw, and then as they progress, there's something about them that really kind of just shows them taking the torch into a different level of music where they start blending genres like this metal and hip hop. And I think that's like for me what I thought was really impressive because their whole goal from the beginning with Korn was that they loved funk and they loved hip hop and they loved metal and they wanted to try blending it together. And so on like the first album you see them like scratching their guitars to imitate like turntables, but then by like the third album in, they're the only band I heard at that time in my life that was using 808s, I mean, and like bass drops and stuff like that in like a hip hop way. And I think that's something that really like showed me that they were growing as artists and that they wanted to continue to do something that was going to really capture their vision and show you that like if you have your ideas, you can take that to the next level. And people want to see evolution in an artist. People want to see how much they can really push the boundary within their own limits.
Exactly. I think I don't know, that type of shit's just gonna last, man. And like otherwise shit just fades out, bro. Like
I feel like worst case scenario, you could just like, let's say that you had some really crazy shit, but it did have like a dated sound to it. You could just remake it for like, just kind of tweak it so it sounds more modern for whatever year you drop it. Because I know we talked to Fall of Troy's singer and guitarist recently, and he's dropping shit that he made like 12 fucking years ago. And he's like, well, the label didn't want me to put this out. They didn't think it had this kind of sound or whatever, but I'm bringing it back because I have like the artistic vision for it, and I really wanted to put this out because I enjoyed writing it or whatever reason he had, and he would drop it like 12 years later, but like fully produced and made better.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's probably always like the option where it's like if you do kind of bring these things out of the vault, you can probably just like tweak them, I guess. Like, I don't know. I just find it like it's weird because everybody's all about consumption nowadays, and it's like to hear that you have like all these songs on the back burner. It's just like, dude, just drop one a day. Fuck it, do the whole Rust thing. You know what I mean? Because like you never know. But like I get your standpoint as well. Like you want to hold it, and because I remember you were telling me that. Because I asked you that like when I was hanging out with you guys at the house, and you were saying like, well, I don't want to drop this stuff because I don't want people to steal my style. That's what I remember you saying about it.
Partly that, but partly just like it's timeless. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't even need to tweak it type shit because it's just like, and also, history moves in cycles. You know what I'm saying? History repeats itself. That's how the adage goes. But it's just like, you look at politics, they repeat themselves. You know what I'm saying? You look at art, that repeats itself. You look at music, it repeats itself. You had, like, I feel like right now, we're kind of, and I was just watching, like, history of hip-hop, like, on Netflix and shit like that. Yo, back when hip-hop first started in, like, New York and shit, like, basically, it was DJs. Like, it was this bull called Kool Herc, and I think he's like one of the people that like they started crediting with like hip hop, but basically DJ Kool Herc, he used to throw these parties at like his crib and
or just like block parties. It was some shit like that. He would just have these block parties and all these people would flock, and he had like the loudest speakers or some shit like that. And then that ended
and he was just a DJ, and it was all about just like, you know what I'm saying, getting the party turned up. And then you had an MC, and the MC started as just like somebody who would kind of be like a hype man for the crowd, like, hey, everybody put your hands up, and then they start talking, and they start talking with rhythm, and that's how rap formed, and that's where we at right now, because these motherfuckers wasn't saying shit. They not talking about, and that's why 90s is considered the golden era, because this was like the 80s moving into the 90s, so it's just like these people are just the hip, the hop, you know what I'm saying, and just like.
So you think that there's going to be a lyrical resurgence in like 10 years?
I think it's going to be a lyrical resurgence in like 2 years.
Okay.
Like, because back when they were doing that, they were basically focusing on beats. They were focusing on keeping the party turned up, and they wasn't really saying shit. After that, they got to the conscious talking about the terms and conditions of the environments that they were living in, and they dove like deeper into it. But like, I don't know, like, you look at now. You look at somebody like Lil Pump. We're focusing on the beats. We're focusing on saying whatever's going to turn people up.
Yeah.
And we're not really saying shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I just think that pretty soon it's going to be that resurgence, because, like, you get a taste of it every now and then. And you see how people really fuck with it when, like, you really, like, give yourself, like, to the art. But
yeah, when you make yourself vulnerable to be able to actually, like, put yourself out there in a way where people can relate to you.
Right. Because everyone's got shit.
Yeah, and like I think like that's like one of like my favorite things about you. Like when I was listening to some of your songs, like I said before, like I'm straight or fucking was Normal People? Yeah, Normal Person, my bad. Yeah, fucking I'm so new. Don't make fun of me.
You good.
Fucking those kinds of tracks really got me, because like it kind of just like it got to show me a little bit about who you were as a person. Right. I got to hear your fucking mother's voice. I got to hear like a bunch of like shit about you that like I could have heard all of this before, and I would already know a handful of things about you that are facts.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like right off the bat, I can like already relate to you. Like like I got family issues.
Right.
Yeah, I got my own struggle that I'm trying to do right now.
Right.
And then these are things that people want to be able to hear. So for you to be able to understand, it's like, hey, I have to put out like bangers right now that people want to be able to just turn up to. I can do that, but I don't want to give up that part of myself that's still going to show people that I'm a person too.
Right. Exactly. And I think honestly for me, giving people the bangers that's just my way of trying to get on, bro. Yeah. Like I see what and I understand that could be a fault, because like sometimes you just want to do you, and you really shouldn't be worried about what the fuck other people want. But like at the same time, like you got to read the room. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, if it's rap smashes going on right now, like to put on, like in the summertime, to put out an R&B album just doesn't seem as smart as putting it out sometimes like winter or fall when your emotions are more somber and you are trapped in the house with your significant other. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because summertime, nigga, you out at the beach getting pussy and shit.
Yeah.
They gonna think I want a Grammy. You know what I'm saying? Like you trying to turn up. Like, but that wintertime coming is just like you want to match the feel. So it's just like I feel like, you know, it's all about reading the room.
What is something that like a lot of your fans can really try to like people can expect with you coming forward now? You know what I mean? Like like so with like I don't know, and like when you did that, you know what I mean? Like I think that's like a banger. You know what I mean? It's a fun song. You know what I mean? Especially at the end. I remember I was like, "Dude, the end of it's like a breakdown."
Right.
You know what I mean? It just slaps, dude. The very end of it's just I almost felt assaulted in the best way. You know what I mean? Bitch.
Hey, whoa.
Yeah, that was. It got me going. It was good. But do you think you're going to be releasing a lot of singles within that kind of sonic wave, or do you think you're going to try bringing out some more of that emotion, I guess, that real part of you that you have?
I've kind of matured into like understanding more about how to blend the turn up, and you know, because like you look at I ain't even gonna they are conspiracies. A conspiracy is just a group of thinking, but like you look at conspiracies about what they're doing in Hollywood or like the type of secret messages that they drop and shit like that, and it's always subliminal. You attack the listener's mind subliminally and you put the bug in their ear, so then when they see it happen in front of their face, it's already normalized. You know what I'm saying? They do that with evil, but you could do it with good as well. And I just try to do that as much as I possibly can. I make the shit sound like, okay, this is some ignorant shit, but then just sprinkle a little knowledge in there every now and then. You know what I'm saying? Or even just putting a trap song out where I'm using baby voice, but at the same time I'm rapping. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just like waving this beat saying like nothing. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's a time and a place for everything. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Everyone has their space in hip hop. I would never be one of those people that's like, oh, you mumble rappers. It's just like everybody has their space in hip hop because it has to move forward and everyone has to try everything to see what works, what doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? Like you got shit right now. Look at what's happening with look at what's happening with 6ix9ine. Like with that whole snitching shit. Like nobody in hip hop was fucking with that, and normally that type of shit would get you barred from the community, and now.
And then he just came and spoke his truth on Instagram Live, broke a fucking record of 2 million live views, and he was like, "You're gonna go ahead and try kidnapping my fucking ma, and then you're gonna go ahead and like mess with my girl, and like all these things," and it's like, but you want me to stay loyal, and that's the part.
But the one thing about 6ix9ine though is like when you really get into it, he is kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah, no, listen, but regardless of what he's done in the past, him trying to basically just be like, hey, would you, like the idea, would you stay loyal to a group of people?
But he lied about that. Like, he lied about a lot of shit, and he was saying that, like, people were doing things that they weren't really doing. Because there's, like, insider, like, interviews of the people that was, like, his right-hand man at the time. Like, so they say 11 people got indicted, right? Mm-hmm. I think it was Kuda, you had Harv, you had Shotty, and like, the people that he said, Shotty fucked this girl, so let's just go and say that's true.
Yeah.
Let's say Shotty fucked this girl. Let's say Harv and Nuke are the ones that kidnapped them or did whatever they did. Okay, that's 3. There's still, fucking 8 people that got indicted that didn't do anything to him. Mm-hmm. Kuda did something on account of him asking him.
But did he? I want to know if he actually did that shit though.
I mean, I don't want to speak on that.
I know. That's like an open that's why like. I wanted Quaz on here because I know that Quaz works with him. I wanted to know like his side of the story, but you know maybe one day we'll see if he comes on. But
I know what was on camera is 6ix9ine said I got a 30-pack on that nigga Chief Keef and Tato after they dropped their motherfucking location on the same video, and he's like, oh, I got a 30-pack on them. Next day or a couple days later, they're in Times Square. Gunshots go off. Chief Keef says that they were shooting in the air, so I don't think that they were really trying to like kill him or something. But ultimately, it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like niggas did that because you offered them 30 bands, and then like so. And he was talking about people that weren't even like in shit, like Cardi B. Like, what the fuck does Cardi B have to do with what happened with him? And it's because, like, the FBI comes at you and they give you a narrative and they like, yo, you got to spin this. And at that point, they just got you by the balls. So it's just, you know, like, I personally, I like some of 6ix9ine's music, you know what I'm saying? But ultimately, like, he is a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? He's a piece of shit, and like
There's
he's
a lot of
liar.
musicians who I'm like, oh, you suck, but the song,
Right.
I
you know what
mean,
I'm saying?
he did steal his whole swag from Zilla.
Zilla, yeah.
I'm gonna
those
say
guys
that.
rip.
That's right. And he did like scummy shit like that to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And like, you know, he's a scumbag, and he's like very manipulative and like plays
Yeah.
on words, and but like ultimately, you know what I'm saying? There's a talent to that. Look at who's running our country.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if you can't even blame them for that, you gotta blame American culture, because we're the ones who've been eating that shit up. We're the one, even if we don't like some shit, we're still giving our money to it by viewing it and sharing it. You know what I'm saying? So we're giving power to these fucking monsters and then bitching when they in charge. But if the first 10,000 people who got offended by this shit would have just scrolled past it instead of fucking sharing it with a whole essay, and then other people go and read it that actually agree with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that agree with the person who they're trying to bash. And then that's how they gain a fan base. And it's just like, if y'all would have just left it the fuck alone, it wouldn't have grown. But y'all give
Yeah,
so
'cause
much
you gave
light
it too
to
much
it.
energy. Yeah.
You gave it too much energy. And that's just what happens. But even the 6ix9ine thing, like, he's getting his views now, but like, there's always a price to pay that comes with stuff. And like, you know, I don't wish anything bad on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all God's work. But like there are people that are looking for him, and I'm sure it doesn't feel good to like just have to look over your shoulder.
Yeah, just have
all
that
the
much
time.
paranoia all the time.
Right. You know what I'm saying? To have to like screen the people that you're hanging out with to wonder if they're gonna leak your address or something, like, that has to be a fucked up life to live. And he's not really showing that, but like, I'm sure if you're a person, you're feeling that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And I was curious about this one too. So like 10 bands.
10 bands. I got big plans. I'm a ball.
So like I remember there was like a snippet I saw of the music video for that. Whatever happened with that? And I never
didn't
saw.
think it was that good.
It wasn't that good.
Yeah, I think when we finally finished edit, I could show you it. I'll show you it after the fucking interview. But I just didn't think it was that good. Like, it wasn't like, and also the guy that was shooting it, and like, no beef with him. He's a cool boy. He's very talented. But like, what was happening was like, he kind of had some shit that he was going through. So like, it just took too long for him to like send me the shit back. And when I finally got it, I've dropped like 2 other songs.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm not about to drop this. And at that, it's not that great anymore. I don't have the same fucking hairstyle. It doesn't look like me. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, okay, scrap it. And I have like 4 videos that's happened to. I don't know, is the first video I've really been like proud of that I got to execute the way that I wanted. Like, even Muddy Cup. You know what I'm saying? There was supposed to be shit in that didn't really make the cut because shit fell through. And just bullshit. But it's just like, you know, it happens. Like, everything on God's timing is how I feel about it.
When you're getting these videos together, when you're, I guess, like going through your options of who you want to work with to be your videographer, what's like your vetting process for it? Like, what is it that makes you be like, I'm gonna work with this guy. Like, this is the guy I want to do it with.
Honestly, I take personality a lot into the people that I work with, because truthfully, I would rather, like, let's say you gotta rate somebody's work on a scale of 1 to 10. I would rather work with somebody who's a 7 that I get along with than like a 9 that like disrespects me or like doesn't give me what I'm asking for as far as the product that I want. So like, you know, it's just kind of like that. But I'm happy, like, I found somebody that I feel is like a 10. Like, his name is Mark's VFX, and he's just like a really cool kid. I think he's like 21 or something now, maybe 22. I don't know if he's as old as me. I always think people are younger than me. But yeah, he's just like really solid at what he does. And as well as that, he has a lot of room for like, you know, growth just with how young he is. And like, he just knows how you could bounce out. He's very passionate about what he does. So you could bounce ideas off of him and he'll make it work, or he'll find a way to make it work. And also, I have like an artistic mind as well. A lot of times, like, you ask any cameraman, they fucking work with somebody and the guy's just like, oh, okay, so like, I'm just gonna go here and then I'm gonna rap, and I'm gonna go here and then I'm gonna rap, I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna rap, and then just put all that shit together. and then it looks fucking stupid because they didn't have any direction or storyline in the video. They didn't write a treatment. So then you can't even blame the cameraman a lot of times. And I feel like with Mark, like there were a lot of videos that were like that where the songs were just honestly fucking garbage. So it's just like you can't even really showcase your skill or your cinematography work or something, sick. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like working with him, we just got to, bond on certain ideas and then execute. You feel me? Like that one in where I'm in the street, like spinning. Mm-hmm. Like you seen King's Dead by like Kendrick and J. Rock. Miss me with that bullshit. Yeah. You ain't really wild. And you know how like it starts, well, and like it's a big fucking palm tree and it's just like this wide view landscape and then it's boom, digital zoom. And now Kendrick's like in the tree just fucking rapping. You know what I'm saying? Like I really like the concept of like being somewhere far and then zooming in. And then on top of that, we was just like, all right, and let's make it look like a time lapse. Like I just been spinning right there all night. Mm-hmm. And then he made it happen.
Yeah, like, I actually did notice that in one frame it's like day, and then the next frame it's like night. You know what I mean? And I thought that was like, oh snap! Yeah, just never left.
Yeah, we shot that like we shot a scene every hour for that.
Okay.
And like we did it like 6 or 7 times. Yeah. Like just like okay, it's 5 o'clock. Let's do it. 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. So we could catch the gradient of it going tonight. So like it was lit. Shouts out Mark's VFX.
Shout out.
Yeah, he's the man.
That was my question too. I was gonna ask was like, who did shoot the newest video? And you basically just answered it right there.
Yeah, Mark's VFX.
VFX.
He shot it and he edited it. He's an amazing editor. He like puts passion into this shit. Like I definitely like fuck with his artistic process a lot and trust his artistic process when I'm working with him. Like he's who I want to shoot all of my new videos because I just work so well with him. If you got something that ain't broke, don't fix it. You feel me? Like
yeah, it might as well grow together at this point. And
that's
it's
how
just
I'm
like
feeling.
an investment with each other.
That's how I'm feeling.
I fuck with that.
How important do you think visuals are in rap careers today? Is it basically everything, or?
Yeah, it's everything. It's everything today because, like I said, personality goes a long way in music today, and how best to show it other than a visual representation of yourself. Because yeah, people aren't going to hear the way that you feel on things, but they could read your general demeanor, they could read your body language, they could read your facial expression, they could look at the lines on your face to see what type of person you are. If you look fucking angry all the time, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't know, it all just like adds up. And I guess in the consumer mind, then you just have to account for those type of things. And yeah, people just want to be entertained, man. Like people don't really want to lock down and listen to music anymore. I think like you think if Gummo dropped just the audio that 6ix9ine would have blew up like that? That video. You think that if Yonkers just dropped the audio that Tyler would have blew up? Nah.
These are great examples.
First one, nigga ate a fucking roach. Watch this, bro. I'm gonna send this to everybody I know. Look at this nigga eat a fucking roach. Or look at all of these blood niggas in New York with they flags out with pounds of weed on top of a car and guns out in a state where if you have a gun, you get in a 3 minimum.
With a rainbow hair kid.
With a rainbow hair Mexican kid. What?
My first one that I started noticing, like the whole visual thing, is like Underachievers, like Gold Soul Theory or Herb Shuttles, right. Where like I saw those and I was like, man, like these videos are fucking crazy, and like this is definitely going to be like the next fucking 10 years.
Yeah.
Like just from those, I was just like, I can already see it. Like music videos are going to be like produced way more easily and like way more like kind of DIY and right. Like with these like computer generated programs like After Effects or Photoshop, whatever.
Soulja Boy for that too.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Soulja Boy for YouTube. Period. Soulja Boy has done so much for hip hop.
Hasn't he been on YouTube like?
I heard he made YouTube.
Yeah, damn near. You know how he got Crank That popping? What this nigga was doing is he's like, all right. You remember LimeWire?
Yeah.
This is when everybody was downloading music off LimeWire to put on
those free viruses.
Right. So like niggas, he would go on LimeWire and like, okay, let's say Chris Brown just dropped, "Excuse Me, Miss." Chris Brown, "Excuse Me, Miss," like free download.
But it would be Crank That.
As soon as you turn that bitch on, you know what I'm saying? And
yo, LimeWire was the fucking king of that shit. I remember like I would be downloading whatever, and it would just be like the wrong names of everything too. It'd be
Right.
like Michael Jackson, Sweet Home Alabama. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, it's Leonard Skinner, but I'm gonna download it just to see what the fuck this is, and then somehow it's Crank That.
Yeah, I think the weirdest, my weirdest LimeWire experience was I was downloading a Korn album, of course, and it turned out to be like I never followed through to see what it was, but it wasn't Korn. It was like some psychedelic progressive jazz band, and I don't know why. Where they made the distinction, people who love Korn are gonna love us. Don't know to this day.
Like what?
There's a reason why it didn't work.
What the fuck?
But I was very entertained in the moment.
Yeah, and Soulja Boy started that, and then he started doing dances on music videos. That was all him. Like, and then Chief Keef is like, I feel like Chief Keef is like the new generation's like trailblazer. Like, like
easily.
Soulja Boy, like this nigga, he made it. Okay, we're gonna make music videos in our house now. And we're just gonna call up all the homies and like
turn up.
Just bring all your guns. We're gonna be inside. No one's gonna see us.
Right, like fuck
take
it.
your shirt off too. Half the guys take their shirts off.
Right, because it's hot in that bitch. Probably it gotta be hot.
We can't sweat too much. Just half naked now.
Right, 30 niggas in that bitch. Like it's hot. It's
I remember
hot.
fucking posting that on like Facebook or something. I was like, I can't believe that that this video with like a bunch of dudes in a room with their shirts off got 8 million views. I remember posting that when it had like 8 million views. Now it's like 100 million fucking views.
Rightfully so.
Or like 300 billion. I don't know. It Chief Keef, I don't like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's got
that
like
shit,
a billion
boom,
fucking views.
Boom. That was when Kanye was on his whole tirade of like getting new artists too. Anybody that got the Kanye lob, you got Chief Keef and then you got Designer. You know what I'm saying? And like,
God.
You know what I'm saying?
Designer got fucked.
Designer got super fucked. It's so beat. They did him dirty.
I bet there's a whole story behind that, but I don't.
I have to look into this stuff.
Yeah, I don't think we.
Whatever
need to get
media
into
you're
it.
eating, I want to eat that media.
I heard that they just weren't letting him go in his creative direction.
Oh.
And so they kind of like Timmy Turner, that was supposed to follow Panda. And that was the joint when he was on the XXL freestyle. Timmy
Everyone
Turner.
clown him.
Yeah, but that was supposed to be his next smash.
Yeah.
But then like they got, I think it was Scott Storch who did it. And you know, Scott Storch is a legend. I like love his work. But like maybe they put a darker sound on it than it was intended, apparently, from what I hear. And like, you know, he never really got his shot to just do what he wanted to do. And
You see the old shit when he was rapping? He was on some like Brooklyn drill shit like
Right.
early. Like he was just like rapping fast as shit, just like all gang shit.
Right.
And then all of a sudden he like doesn't know how to speak English and he's just mumbling hard as fuck. I'm like,
Right.
this is suspect as fuck, but like all right.
Bro, but then I mean, look at Lil Uzi. Lil Uzi used to do old school rap.
When did he do that? Like
That
way
was, like,
before Super Saiyan
yeah.
Trunks and shit?
I think, yeah. That was
I remember Real Uzi. I still bump that every fucking week.
I haven't listened to the super old Uzi, but I've seen like throwback videos where like he had like the shortcut and like I think he was on the street and he was like bouncing around and he was like on some like Wu-Tang type shit. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, look at him now.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just find their lane like in a different space and that's what I'm saying. You gotta grow and you gotta try everything. And I feel like Uzi about to start rapping now. Like that baby Pluto persona he has, I really fuck with.
Yeah.
Like that's like the first. I think it's the first. It was Baby Pluto, Orenji, and then Lil Uzi. So like the first 6 songs was Baby Pluto, and I feel like that's the best part of the fucking album. I turned you a headache, I bought me a Sarah's, I bought her a baby one. Like that shit's crazy.
Yeah.
Like that's just nutty.
I was bumping that shit for like a month straight, and then like
Right.
the unreleased came out, and I'm like, all right, like I just gotta bump all this now.
Right, bro. Uzi's definitely like I fuck with Uzi. Uzi go hard.
Oh.
Yeah,
Can you freestyle?
kinda.
I can't.
Yeah, I kinda can. But
You want to do something for us right now?
yeah, fuck yeah, let's get it.
All right.
Yeah. What's a goon to a goblin, the bug, the beetle? I apologize if I was deceitful. I've been holding up, girl, I wasn't lethal. I've been holding up, though I love my teacher. I've been in my own head, bumping beasters. If you don't like me, I don't like you neither. I ain't never need nothing but my gun and reefer. Back when I was young, it was finders, keepers. My life scary, jeepers, creepers. Every block niggas, creep with heaters. Back of my head, it's a set of peekers. Watch my body, Jabberwocky. I get brolic, I'll stab you, Aki. I ain't never need backup to handle problems. See me on one, hope your angel's watching. I break face like a rhinoplasty, but I'm so handsome, my angle's popping. I'm dirty damn bitch, I'm kinda nasty. Break that back like a spinal problem. Y'all boys hoes, vaginitis. I'm so sick of these fuck niggas. I think y'all need a good alignment. Straighten niggas up like a chiropractor. Check that temp like a reassignment. Keep it 500, you are not a lion. You are not about what you advertising. 5'11", but I stand a giant. I got 33 rounds, I could down the bison, put a rip inside it. I'ma get it trifling, send it down the barrel. It got threaded rifle, send it down the road like it is on the bike. If you think it's sweet, you pick the wrong type. If your friend is Michael, we'll get Mike at night. If the price is right, then we tomping out. If we damming out, then we blamming out. Nigga fat stacks, think we scamming out. Man, that nigga yam bounce it, that out. Whack Uncle Sam and he ain't find it out. We was in the trench and then we climbing out. Bitch, let's go. Stupid bitch, it's Raw. I need to get Gordon Ramsay on the skit for real. That's like one of my like dreams. I want to get him like on the skit to be like Raw, and like I'm gonna be like, what? And he gonna be like, no, it's Raw, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, like what?
That's my name.
Yeah, like some shit like that. Like that should be funny.
Just so he can be in the first 5 seconds of the video.
Right. Like I would love to have Gordon Ramsay.
And he has like a plate of meat, and he's like, "This is raw."
I'll cook it
And
because
then
I
he's
love
just
steak,
like,
bro. I actually
yeah.
cook steak, so like I actually do want him to like review my food, and he's like talking shit about it and calling it raw, and like I'm just like, what? I feel like that would be funny.
I don't know why I keep saying my name the whole time.
Really, I'm just like, bro, you alright? like almost try to knuckle him. I'm like you good though? Like what's good with you, nigga? I feel like that would be funny as shit.
That's a great idea.
Right.
Oh shit. Fucking that was cool. Fucking I was looking at the video while that shit was going down.
Yeah.
Jose, what questions you got? I think I'm
What questions do I got? Shit, damn, dude. Let's see. Yo, this is a great topic that we were talking about before when we were talking about like the parallels between like the certain similarities between like pop punk emo world and then the hip hop world, and how right now the people who really seem to be transcending music, like we were talking about a little bit earlier, it's the hip hop community right now that's willing to accept these kinds of genres into their music.
Right.
And so when you sent me Save Yourself and everything on there, and I was listening to just like all the guitar.
Everything's fine?
What? No, sorry, Everything's Fine. Yeah. Yeah, when I was listening to Everything's Fine, going through just like all the guitar that was throughout the entire release, I was like, oh shit, he was right about that. P.S. I'm still waiting to collab. We gotta do it now.
I'm down.
Dude, I'm gonna
You
show
play?
you some shit later. Yeah, I play.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
do
down,
I play?
bro. Oh yeah, you like corn. You gotta play.
Yeah, no, yeah. Besides the point.
Right.
So we were talking yesterday on the phone, and then we ended up getting to this point after we were done talking about the similarities and how some genres are doing really well with accepting those kinds of characteristics into their blending. You know what I mean? Like hip hop's thriving when you have artists like Lil Peep and like Juice WRLD who have kind of like that emo touch to their music.
Right.
And then you even have like Sauce Moolah and like Zella Kami who have just like
fire.
Wow.
fucking just heavy as like and like shit's fire, pure fire.
Yeah,
But
shouts
whenever
out Zilla, them niggas hard.
yeah, but when you see that on the other end though, you don't ever see them embracing hip hop the same way. And they really clown a lot of people too, which is crazy when they try incorporating any kind of like hip hop into their music. And so when we started talking about this yesterday, I brought up that point. It's like kind of weird almost, and you really cleared it up for me when we were talking about this. Like, why is it that when you're in a certain genre, you get basically praised for fitting the stereotypes?
Right.
You know what I mean? And like, I think that's something that like really always like bothered me, because there's this standard that you need to be perfect, pristine, and ready to go, and you can't make any faults when you're in the pop punk emo world.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be this model citizen at 15.
Right.
At 18, 16, doesn't matter how young, old, you can't fuck up because they'll cancel you right away.
Yeah.
But if you're in hip hop, you're allowed to be yourself for the most part, and no one can even judge you for that.
That's right.
And I when we were talking yesterday, you kind of just broke it down for me. So you kind of like want to give me a quick little history again?
I mean, I feel like that, like as another thing, is like it comes with shit. You know what I'm saying? It comes with me trying to book a show at in what was it, Rue nightclub. Fuck them. They're in Trenton. And they're this nightclub, and you know how Trenton is, you know what I'm saying? Trenton, like, gutty, like, you feel me? So, like, basically, and not even just Rue, there's plenty of nightclubs like this, and they kind of, like, I tried to get shows at certain places, and they was like, oh, you play rap music, so, like, nah, You know what I'm saying? Like, they not going for that shit. Or if they do, then they want you to pull out an insurance policy. And if you pull out the insurance policy, I did all of the different, like, you know, because it's drop bars and you pick certain shit. I pick country artists. Okay, well, yeah, we'll give you a $150. Give us a $150. You good for the night, fully insured. If you're a rap artist, oh no, we gonna need 3 bands. You know what I'm saying, for the night, and it's
that
just
and like electronic music. It's absurd.
What kind of dumb fucking form is this? Where it's just like you just go on there. It's like, okay, well, what genre do you play? And it's just like
literally
just nice boy country music, and it's just like, all right, well, it's just a $50 like pay in, and then so you just scroll down and hit rap, and it's just like $5K minimum,
shit,
like.
Which is kind of fucked up, bro.
And bro, they enforce racism through dress codes. They say like, oh yeah, like you could come to our club, but like no hoodies, no sneakers, no pants with rip in them, no fucking sunglasses, no, just like quintessential like black things to wear, just like athletic wear, which is mostly what black people wear. Like, you know what I'm saying? These niggas ain't buying Sperry's and Nantucket shorts 9 times out of 10, and the club owners know that, so they just like, okay, you gotta wear Sperry's to get in this motherfucker. So then they could tell you, oh, you're not allowed in because of your Sperry's. But it's really, no, it has nothing to do with that shit. You're not allowed in because you're not the type of people that wear Sperry's. You know what I'm saying? And if they do let you in and you do match their whole dress code, then they just gonna have an eye on you the whole fucking night. And it's just like,
it's just uncomfortable. And then
so it's just like, it's, you know, everything comes with something. It's a price to pay for everything.
Yeah, and I think you like did it. You explained it even like you just like you always had like a great way of putting it for me when you were like kind of like just like educating me a little bit and like giving me the background on hip hop and how like there's like groups like NWA
and Uncle Luke in Florida were 2 big ones that like I recently heard of. And basically with Uncle Luke, he was just like, you know what I'm saying, super freak bull. Him and all this clique, like they were just like promoting anthems of like shaking ass, you know what I'm saying, getting their dick sucked, regular shit. You know what I'm saying, regular shit today.
WAP.
But like back then, you couldn't do all that. You know what I'm saying. Even now, like women are still getting shit for WAP. You know what I'm saying, and niggas been doing that, and now that's the women's case. Like, yo, niggas been doing this the past 20 years. Like, why y'all bitching about us? It's our turn.
Yeah, stop. Yeah.
Right, but nah, like. Uncle Luke, like, they was putting shit about shaking ass, shit like that, just turn up. And then they ended up, like, the police and, like, all these people was just basically trying to cancel them and, like, say that they couldn't do that shit and they couldn't perform that type of shit in certain
They were being considered terrorists at that point.
No. NWA were the terrorists.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And
because NWA was literally saying, like, fuck the police, like, this and that, like, kill a cop, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I mean, and they really took them to trial for that shit. But, I mean, you got your amendment. Yeah,
and I think that's why, like, that it's more acceptable in the hip-hop world to be able to do basically whatever the fuck you want, because that genre was the flagship for fighting against censorship.
Right.
And when you kind of like explained it to me like that, I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. But at the same time, it also shows like that within like the emo pop punk or whatever the fuck like we want to, you know, the alternative rock world, that there's like this certain level of privilege to it, because you're not allowed to be real, because it invades their idea of what real life is. And they want you to put on this show that, no, like, you have to think the right way, you can't be wrong. But in reality, that's not real life. And, like, that's kind of, like, a big reason for me, at least, why I kind of, like, slowly started exiting my way out of it. It wasn't because of me feeling not wanted, even though sometimes that might have been the case. But it was really because I started seeing a lot of the hypocrisy behind it. It's like, you don't really care about your community. You don't really care about any of these things. You just want people to fit your narrative to make you look like you're the fucking hot shit on top right now. Yeah. And everyone just, and like, what pissed me off the most, man, like, no one ever wanted to collab. You know what I mean? Like, no one, like, in the alternative like rock world, like, no one was like, yo, let me like do a feature on your song, or like let's have you do like a solo on this shit, or let's do like a group fucking like mixtape out there. Like, one of the ways we kind of like formed our relationship a lot was when we did that fucking is it like a mixtape, I guess, like the thing at Warped Tour.
Oh, the comp CD.
The comp, we did like a comp CD where we got like how many bands?
I think we got 20 bands.
From like the East Coast?
Yeah, it was like the East Coast compilation 2018 or 19 or some shit.
Yeah, like so we collabed on a compilation, right? And like it was kind of like pulling teeth for the most part. Some of them were really cool about it, but like really, we were just asking people to contribute a little bit, and we would. How many copies did we pass out?
I mean, a couple thousand. So
At
like,
Warped Tour, yeah, at Warped Tour, we were basically like, hey, like, give us like literally like the cost, and we'll go out there and we'll literally make sure your music gets put in the hand of thousands of people.
Yeah, it was kind of like. So we asked the artist to like pay us X amount of money to get on it, essentially. So it's not. I guess you could say it's pay for play, but like. The package that we're offering basically was like, you give us your music, we put it on this thing as a compilation, and we're going to go to this event and basically give you free distribution. Like I go out of my way, I design it, and I market it a certain way. We promo it with videos, and then we actually go on site with a team of people, pass out thousands of CDs to whoever wants to take the fucking things, and like that's a way to get your music out there. And, you know, I guess some...
Physical, too.
Yeah, like physical copy too. It's limited. You know, if you got one, then you know.
And if you're passing it out at an event like Warped Tour, like that is the time where people who were from that culture come back out to celebrate an event. You know what I mean? It's like the older punks and the older music head scene people who are like, oh, I used to get CDs all the time at shows from people. Like no one passes me CDs anymore because I'm at work.
No, but I got another idea for y'all. Items with QR codes. Because one, with the younger generation, most of these motherfuckers don't even have anything to put. Your Mac, they lost the CD ports. You know what I'm saying? So even our CDs are kind of going away. So it's like they got the QR codes, but you give somebody a business card, they throwing that shit on the fucking ground. What's something that gets passed from hand to hand that goes to like 8 different fucking people that you're not gonna throw away until it's done, which is gonna be at least a week. Even if you're a heavy smoker, it's going to be a week. If you don't smoke like that, shit could last you months.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Your logo or your brand or your band name and then the little QR code that they could pull out. Nigga, if you use a lighter 200 times, one time you going to scan that fucking
One day
QR
you're going to be
code.
really high and you're going to be like,
what?
what?
Scan that shit and just see what the fuck it's about. And then, boom, that pulls up all of your media, all of your information, and then, wow. Watch,
and then when
steal that, bro. Somebody
when you
steal that from
scan,
listening to this, on God.
And when you scan the QR code, all you hear is, you!
Yo, that would be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that's just a work of art at that
You should
point.
set it up that way so it sends the people to like your link tree, but the first like 10 seconds is just crank that.
Right.
And then it's like, nah, I'm just fucking with you. It's Raw.Deen, bitch.
Right.
Like,
Right.
That's really
here's
great.
my new mixtape.
I need the Soulja Boy feature.
Yeah.
Big Draco, holla at me. Holla at me, Big Draco. Please.
Shit. No, I like that a lot. I think like, but I just always thought it was interesting. You know what I mean? I think that's why like, I always like gravitated more and more now as I'm getting older and I'm educating myself more on like just current life shit. You know what I mean? Like when like I feel like it's weird for me, and I'm not saying that everyone in like the music scenes that like I was from, you know what I mean, within the alternative rock world is like that, but it really is just kind of like a place of ignorance where they want to not really let you be you.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad because like they for the most part are the ones who like preach like, you know, like this is like a place for wayward souls.
Yeah,
this
they're selling a message.
Yeah, and there's no actual message there because like I was a very very noble community leader in my area, and it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? And like that's the thing. I had a conversation with a friend of mine who does like another large scale community event for the music around here in like the Philly, New Jersey area. And when I was expressing these kinds of ideas, it was like the shitty part about it is, man, it doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah.
And there's truth to that, but at the same time, it's like there should at least like there. For me, I don't know, man. I guess I always just thought that there would be like some kind of like community that would get passed on, and there would be these kinds of like moral ethics that we could try sharing with each other. It's like, hey, like be there for your friends. You know what I mean? Like you don't want your friends to be alone or getting fucked up somewhere else. Like have them hang out with you on the weekend.
Right.
And you know what I mean? Go fucking party together on the weekend and go to a show and fucking bond and like be open about your fucking feelings. Like normal person.
On person.
Got it now. See, it's in there.
On person.
Yeah. No, I'm straight. You're literally like, yeah. That's not. I was thinking of the lyrics.
As I got myself, I'm straight.
Yeah.
But that's just me saying, yo, I really don't need shit. It's just like, yo, even if I lost all other people I'm around, bro, I don't even. What the fuck did I say?
Then you at some point, is that the one where you had some point like it's black and white, fucking.
normal persons, it ain't always black and white. We all gotta cry sometimes.
That's the way. Yeah, we all gotta cry sometimes. Like that's like the realest shit I heard because I'm like, yep, you're right. Like sometimes we just gotta
lie sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes we gotta lie about that shit.
We gotta cry. We gotta lie. You know what I'm saying? Like emotion. Lil Baby said it. Emotion and lying is attached. Because nigga, you have emotions like you going like. Think about your girl or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's somebody that you care about. You don't want to tell her something that's going to hurt her feelings. But if it's any random bitch and it's just like, send it. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care how she feels. It's just like this person doesn't mean, I'm not going to say doesn't mean anything to me, but in relativity to the women that do mean something to me, she means nothing.
And it works the same way reverse too. It's like if you don't care, you're just going to be straight. No, you're going to just lie to them. But if it's the person you care about, like, you won't lie to them. It works both ways, you know what I mean? Cause
like the message of I'm straight is kind of just like, yo, like I'm good with like whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'm good with me, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm good. Like even if I don't have anything, I'm good because at the end of the day, you're gonna live alone and you're gonna die alone. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, as long as I got my weed, I'm straight. As long as I got my tree, I'm straight. As long as I got my green, I'm straight. As long as I got my peeps, I'm straight. And it's just like, yo, like, as long as I have the shit that is able to give me self-care because peace is within the mind and contentment. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about just, like, being your motherfucking self and living, like, truthfully, unconditionally to everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, bro, ain't no smut on my motherfucking rep. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing that you will ever hear about me that I haven't already told the fucking world 100 times. You know what I'm saying? Like, good or bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, who gives a fuck, bro? Like, I'm not gonna put myself out to be, like, some super poised character because that shit ends up biting you in the ass. When you're somebody like LeBron James who is in the NBA and, you know, you've had this image that you've had to set for children for 10 plus years. If you get caught fucking outside of your marriage, you're going down. You know what I'm saying? And that's not killing somebody. That's not a rape. You know what I'm saying? That's not something like that. Like, it's cheating. And cheating's bad. You know what I'm saying? Infidelity is bad, but like you know, like, I don't know. That's not something that other people should be in your fucking business for. That's not something I can't hate you for cheating on your fucking girl.
Yeah, because you got your own skeletons in your own closet. You can't, like, everyone's fucking up some way, somehow, probably.
Nigga, we all, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I don't want to get into if I was cheating on shorties and shit, but it's just like, nigga.
Man, you don't like cheating video games. I whoop your ass in Smash.
Cheating video games, right, nigga? Like, I'm just saying, like.
Hey, man, we all got to go to cheatcodes.com sometimes.
Yeah, I know Raw.Deen's the kind of guy who unplugs your controller when you're not looking.
Unplugs your controller.
Everything's wireless now.
That's mad funny.
Shit, man. What's fucking over the hour mark now? Fucking, you want to make any kind of closing remarks? Any questions anyone else got for each other?
Nigga, fucking.
Here, let me ask you this.
Wasn't that?
Save it. Ready?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna ask him.
Send it.
I'm just gonna send it.
Send it.
This is that part. You know what I mean?
That part.
A little bit from me to you action right now.
Right.
This is that segment where you can go ahead and talk to, a room full of people. You can give them the message. You have your little moment right now. What could you tell them right now that would help them musically in the world? Something that would help them express themselves or lead them in the right way when they're trying to grow as a musician or an artist.
Nigga. Stop dick eating. You know what I'm saying? Stop
awesome.
dick eating.
Facts.
For real. Stop dick eating and being dick in the butt ass niggas that's swayed by other motherfuckers' opinions. You know what I'm saying? Like, and stop dick eating what's popular and not building with the people around you. Build with the motherfuckers around you and y'all all gonna come up together. Niggas focus on getting on a 50-foot wave. Nigga, if you a surfer and you trying to get on a 50-foot wave, you know how fucking hard that's gonna be? Like, but that 50-foot wave started as a 1-foot wave. So they more focused on getting on a 50-foot wave full of niggas that don't fucking like them than they are about starting the 1-foot wave with the potential of making the 50-foot wave with the people that they fuck with. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And those are the successful people that end up like taking shit over, bro. They have whole camps of people who are loyal to them and they all have an interest in this shit. It's like a company. You know what I'm saying? You all have a stock in this. So it's beneficial for you, and everybody around to make sure that this stock doesn't crash, because if it does, then it fucks up all of us. or not even fucks us up, but we're not gonna benefit. You know what I'm saying? Then who wants to put work into something to not fucking benefit? You feel me? So it's just stop dick eating, and I guess yeah, man, don't I guess just don't worry about like, I don't know, like don't worry about what the next nigga doing. Like stop comparing yourself to people, I think is the best way to say it, because ultimately anything that is strong was once weak. Anything that is big was once small. You know what I'm saying? So there's always hope. There's always hope to be able to do whatever the fuck you want. You know what I'm saying? Because ultimately, everybody got to start somewhere. It's all about putting in your 10,000 hours of mastery, really. Because it's just like, you know, it takes 10,000 hours to master anything. And if you really do the calculations, that's only like 4 hours a day for 10 years.
Jay-Z, shout out.
Shouts out Jay-Z. Legend. And he didn't get to where he got by dick riding or worry about the next nigga pockets. You know what I'm saying? Like, you do you, and you create a way for yourself, and you pave your road with genuine intentions. You know what I'm saying? Genuine intent. But then they do say the road to hell is paved with good intentions. But I think that's more so speaking about like, yo, you get into something with the idea that you're gonna do something good, and then once you get it, you kind of just turn into a cocksucker and like fuck everyone over, and you don't stay true to your original message. You don't stay rooted. You don't stay grounded.
So to kind of, I love that, and I need to know this last part though.
Right.
Did OJ do it?
Did OJ do it?
He said
No.
it. Like he said it on the last. He was like,
No,
"Yo."
no, OJ did not do that shit. Don't do that to OJ. OJ did not do that shit. Like,
I'm gonna edit in.
I'm dead serious.
I'm gonna edit in the part of the third time's a charm where you're just like, yeah, motherfucker did it.
He did that shit. He did that shit. No, OJ ain't do that shit though. Shouts out OJ Simpson. I follow him on Twitter. He a real nigga for real. Yo, when he came home, when he got out of jail, this nigga, he's like, hey, it's Juice. He's like, I've heard that everybody has been having their little opinions. Well, I'm on Twitter, and we got some getting even to do. And everyone was just like, we got some getting even to do. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That shit was the most
OJ?
fire shit I ever seen. Like he just came out, he just figured out what Twitter was, and he just started saying all this weird shit, and
First
people are
day
like,
out.
is this motherfucker gonna kill more people?
He is. OJ first day out freestyle. I need to hear that.
Fire.
Yo,
Yeah,
listen,
that's
everyone home, thank you so much again for watching, tuning in. Make sure to smash that fucking notification bell. Make sure
If
to
you up late, smash that motherfucking like button.
yeah, don't tap it. Smash. I just want break your fucking computer. And also,
Break your fingers.
don't forget, guys, we also have a Patreon. So please don't be a stranger. Sign up. Join the cult level. I don't know if we ever set up a cult level. I keep saying cult level.
I don't know,
Donate
man.
that
Just
shit.
join the Patreon. I put like 15 fucking videos on there that no one has ever watched. It's all like underground footage that isn't going on YouTube. So if you guys fuck with us, then you're gonna see some cool shit. I guarantee it.
Make an OnlyFans.
I'll also put it on OnlyFans.
Mine as well.
With my
Fuck
dick.
It has
Yeah.
like, I figured it has a. I was thinking about that. I made an OnlyFans for like unreleased shit, but then it was just like, okay, this demographic. They have a larger demographic. Like, I mean, more
It's all
traffic,
porn stars.
kinda. But then there's some people who are doing stuff on there. Like,
Yeah, no, my one friend who's a sex worker, she was telling me before when I was like, should I like try like doing for Electric Halloween? I was like, should I try doing Patreon or like what do you think? And she's like, honestly, like OnlyFans is pretty good. Like you might
Right.
want-
It's not
yeah.
all perverts. If you like, I'm just saying it has more traffic, and yeah, it has different types of people giving it traffic, but that's just based on reputation.
Yeah.
I was just putting up I put up I don't know on that bitch.
Yeah.
And subscribe for $10 a month. That shit came out on OnlyFans 3 months ago.
That's the thing with
As soon as I finished
OnlyFans is
shooting
that I think everybody thinks OnlyFans is just like pictures of tits
Yeah.
and whatever. But I did notice like
it. Do what you want.
I don't know if this is still a thing, but I noticed Drip her throat. He had like an OnlyFans
Yeah, he
link.
probably on some freak bullshit.
He had an
He on some
OnlyFans
freak
link in his
bullshit.
fucking
Aw,
link in
man.
bio on Instagram, and I was like, "What the fuck is this shit?" This is like before all of the OnlyFans shit.
Shouts out to Drip. He's funny as hell.
So I'm just like, is this just him just like jerking off on
Probably uploading
OnlyFans?
pictures
Like,
of his butt.
what?
He probably uploading pictures of his butt. I'm about to call him and ask him what's on his OnlyFans. I didn't even know he had one.
Call him live on the podcast.
Call him right now.
Be on
Right.
what the
Let's-
fuck's up with your OnlyFans?
Yeah, we gotta know. The
'Cause
fans want to know.
he had like a
FaceTime Ace.
he had a naked Instagram too, where he just like walked out butt ass naked and he was just
Right.
dancing or some shit, and I was like, I fuck with Drip. He's funny as shit.
This nigga better answer.
Yeah, if he doesn't, tell him he's canceled.
Or he a bitch. And this shit gonna be on the tube and all that. So it's gonna
unreliable,
he's a bitch.
Unprofessional.
Unreliable, unprofessional. This is crazy. You see this? He's just not answering.
Raw.Deen could be drowning.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, bro, I need help right now.
FaceTime unavailable.
Wow, he would let you die.
This nigga would let me fucking die. I wonder if he on IG. If he on IG, I'm sending shots at that nigga.
Let's just start making a thing where we just tell the guests to just like get anybody they want on their fucking like FaceTime or whatever. Hey, just like bring somebody on. Fuck it.
Yeah,
we'll take calls.
We'll take calls right now. Like you get to phone a friend. Did Epstein do it?
You think Lil Graham would answer?
It's like phone a friend. It's like, yo, man, did OJ do that shit?
Yeah. Do you think OJ actually did it or not? P.S. The Titanic did not sink from an iceberg. We all know this.
There was a bomb on that bitch.
It was the fucking coal that they stacked on it, and it was too fucking dense, and it caught on fire. Boom. Saying it again now. Told my friends earlier today. Fact. That is why it sank. Who's that?
Did OJ do it?
You're on to all the crowded rooms, aren't you?
Did OJ do it?
Yo, what's up, Lil Graham?
Free OJ, man.
Free OJ, that's what I'm saying, my nigga. Come on, bro. Niggas putting slander on OJ name. He ain't do that shit. All right, bro. Well, this is my interview, so fuck you.
That was the best one. That was great. Let's leave
shouts
off
out
on
Lil
that.
Graham.
Yeah,
Shout out Lil Graham. Yo, guys, thank you so much again. Have a great night. Smoke one for Raw.Deen. Make sure to check out, I don't know, and fucking.
Oh, no. When the last time y'all hit a lick? When the last time y'all made sense? When the last time y'all made sense? It's a WAP.
Bitch!
Yeah.
I'm not like that type of WAP. Damn. I can't even use that no more. I used to say WAP for like a smash hit, but now I can't say it because it sounds like I'm talking about a wet ass pussy. I don't know.
I mean, that's still nice.
Pussy. Nah, facts.
Hey. All right, yo, guys. Thanks so much again. Fucking see you soon.
Gang
Let's
shit.
go.
Yeah.